playing a game.
Yeah.
You like the title now? I changed it.
Yes, it's very good.
Everyone just quickly checks.
Wait, why would it be a walk with Shia though?
Fuck, I spelt it wrong.
Shia?
Learn English.
English is my first language, writing is my 9th.
That is, yeah, no, like,
When you know
in the
how to
relatively
write.
short time I have known you, it has been made abundantly clear that you know how speak good, you know write good.
If I told you in high school that I was an A+ English student,
I wouldn't believe you.
I would not. I would believe you because high school is far enough away that you could have fallen that far from grace, but I
Also,
would be
it's an
very
American
sad.
education system.
Very, very sad.
well, you're gonna be very, very sad. As soon as I learned how a cell phone worked in 12th grade, I stopped doing English.
Ah,
Cell phone ruined it.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I failed English.
I was still an honors
also
math
makes sense.
student.
Don't make fun of me. I'm stupid.
Globama.
No, you're not allowed to have a Globama.
Globama.
It's not allowed.
Globama.
Okay, I'm turning on the Necrodancer music. Prepare to dance. Anyway, who wants to start a recap? Also, hi, Opti.
Hello.
Isn't the stream supposed to start?
This stream started like a moment ago.
Wow, really? The stream started.
What do you mean?
About
This isn't stream.
the second Opti joint, I switched it over.
Yep.
I was gonna start it either way, it just so happened.
What the fuck's this advertisement?
I don't know.
I am not seeing it, so I sure can't tell you.
I'm not famous enough to approve my own ads, so...
Opti, you're here last. Do recap.
Yeah, I know we went to Zeffy's place. We stayed there overnight, and during the night we got threats from our friendly neighborhood rat folk, and we pretty much told us to keep our mouth shut or we're gonna have some issues.
There's no such thing as Teenage Mutant Ninja Rats.
No, there's not. In the morning, then we followed a trail of one after a knife was thrown in the door. Then, was it thrown through the door, thrown at the door, and then through the door when it was opened?
Knife door doesn't really matter. Keep going.
Then Zephyr and Jalen, Zephyr leading, saw someone kill one of them, and then they just kind of fizzled away. Then we later went back to the guild hall where our guild Marm and her husband were fighting with her, trying to, I think, kill him. Which we helped calm that situation down.
I don't think kill was the right word. They were having a couple's quarrel.
Well, couples quarrels, typically even in domestic abuse cases, don't result in one of the couple pulling out a knife and stabbing the other one, which she had done. Because, the important thing is Leah had reached her breaking point.
I'm more impressed that she landed a blow on for exhaustion.
But we took care of that. Then we ran into we spoke to the mystery woman again, who pretty much told us just to fuck it and just keep going about our lives, pretend nothing's going on.
Oh,
and we
did I
took
not write down her name? I thought I wrote down her name.
Then we took another job out near, I forget the name of the city we're going to take Zephyr's family to.
Tobro.
Tobro, yes.
Oh wait, no, I did write down her name. Erdothorn.
The job we took is a little bit south of there, but still we're heading out that direction.
Mhm.
What else have we done with that?
So I was reminded, re-listening to the campaign, that that adage about the bear trap you gave us, Tog, was so accurate to Lilith.
Yeah. A
Remember,
rusty steel trap. It doesn't trigger all the time, but whenever it does, it will not let go.
you looked over, you noticed one detail, which was obscure and related to another detail you completely forgot.
Who, me?
Anyway,
No.
so there was other, like the only thing of note I can remember that Opti didn't mention was, since she shorthanded the meeting with Zephyr's family, Zephyr's mom does illegal mind magic.
Oh yeah, we got the bad memories on a stick.
Yep.
The trauma wand.
And
The trauma wand of bludgeoning.
like, since evidently there's specific details that weren't mentioned and are important, his sister is also afraid of spiders, yet has no problem with killing and catching rats.
I mean, most creatures
He
are
also
afraid of a
thinks-
creature of a different species.
Yeah, I know. It's still funny.
Yeah, it is.
She also thinks spider webs is spider poop.
I mean, it come out of their butt, it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not blaming her, and that's why I didn't bother having my character correct her.
He's a widow girl.
Uh-huh.
So last session, it kind of was apparent to me that it could just be the time dilation because, you know, we're not seeing sunlight anymore. It's only about noon. You guys have got until tomorrow morning to leave on this quest. I mean, you could leave early, but she said you'll probably be waiting if you do.
Do I still have exhaustion? The whole plan was to leave when I'm
Yeah.
fully rested.
Yeah. I thought we had just skipped to the leaving point because we were waiting on her to no longer be exhausted.
I mean, you can, but that comes with the notation that you skip.
I don't fucking care, bro. We spent so much, like, it was important RP, but we spent so much time just sadly spinning our wheels last session. I'd like to get something going. Though in the downtime, Dahak is going to keep checking in on Leah to at least try and make sure that she's getting rest, because she desperately needs it.
We could make an excuse to say that we need her to tag along with us.
Or
Just so
DM
that
will
she could
remember
sleep.
this.
Just so that she can sleep on the way there.
Alright, we'll do a time skip. And I only have one notable interruption because I imagine somebody will be keeping watch.
Yep.
Who wants to take the last shift?
I will.
Alright. Tog, as you guys are resting, you hear footsteps in your little open corridor area, your common area. They're very light.
I open the door to the common area and look outside to see. What I'm expecting is just going to be one of our more diminutive guild members.
Yes and no. It's Erda. She sees the door open, and she stares back at you. Kind of tilts her head to the side. Curious. She approaches the door.
What?
She's approaching the door. She's on the other side, looking into May's open room.
So, considering there's a watch, I figured we're all sleeping in the same room, yes?
Yes, you're all in Zephyr's room.
She's approaching my old room.
Right.
That seems to be opened.
Yes. I was just clarifying, because those details are important for what he is about to say. So, he nods to her in greeting, and almost goes back into the room, then realizes he's heading for Maze, and speaks up. Oh, if you're looking for May, she's not in there. We're all sleeping in the same room. Can I help you?
I wanted to take a look at her hand.
Well, I suppose that's reasonable. You're the other person who's dealt with the rats, yes? As he's saying that, he fully opens the door to the room and also gets out of the doorway. Like, he's not only opens it, but opens it for her.
She approaches, she raises her finger to her lips, and she just kind of points up at the ceiling.
He looks up.
You don't see anything, but very briefly you hear something that sounds like it slides to a stop. She's not drawing again, is she?
She's asleep. She only did that when she was awake.
Elves don't sleep.
Yeah,
She's not. Meditating, whatever you want to call it. She's not active. She has to be inactive. She's recovering from exhaustion. Also, if you think I would let her do that at all, ever, during my watch shift, you are a fool.
Doesn't change the fact that there's one here.
They were following us before she started making the sign. I don't know what was talked about, since honestly, I'm done with the rats. And I want out of this town. So tomorrow, we are going. Honestly, I don't remember what the quest is. It's an excuse to...
Oh? Did you guys get the assignment to Toboro?
Shrugs. Are you coming in or not?
Sure. He quietly comes in, trying not to, rouse. Oh, you're all in here.
He nods.
Well, I was actually going to see who was taking that quest. I need to head there for personal business, and I was going to tag along.
So, since it was at, the tail end of the session, I forgot. What exactly is our business in Toboro?
We were going to be transporting a noble, from Tolboro back to the city, now that the tower was finished. He wanted to see it.
Okay.
And fish.
Oh yeah, food.
And because I'm a skilled tracker and navigator of that forest, it's might as well.
So, after she enters, he closes the door and shrugs again.
I
It's been
wanted
a
to
very long few days. The details of the
Wow.
quest weren't what mattered to me, so I suppose you've happened around the right people.
wanted to be known that I'm sitting on my hands. so I'm not, subconsciously or not drawing that shit on my hand again. Now that I'm aware that I'm doing it.
You think it'll help you?
No idea, but I'm just making sure that my hands aren't moving anywhere.
I mean, after finding out that she scarred the symbol into her hand, watching her would be a part of Dahak's shift at the very least. I don't know about the rest of the people, but he'd be like with. I imagine he would prefer a setup where the window and her are in the same line of sight. Just because that's the only way the rats have of easily entering and exiting, and it's been shown that they watch windows magically.
The window was boarded shut.
Okay.
I noted that last time. It just
Oh yeah, that is right. I forgot about that.
it's just the door.
Okay, whatever. He'd want our setup to be such that it's easy to keep an eye on May and the only point of entrance.
That's fair.
With the windows boarded, that's now just the door, which he wasn't too worried about before because he kind of figured the rats wouldn't bother using the door.
Well, no, the reason I was concerned if she was still drawing it wasn't so much that it's here, but I was thinking about it. And typically, if you're marked with the symbol, you get sick. But she seemed in good health, outside of perhaps blood loss.
He nods.
I was curious if that was the only symbol. Has anyone else been under the weather?
Well, Leah has been, but I had attributed that to the extremely stressful few days we've been having. I'll have to take a closer look at her in a few hours.
No, it would have been very noticeable, like basically passing out.
He explains to her, however, you would properly explain that she has 4 levels of exhaustion.
Oh, that's very bad actually. I didn't notice that.
She is very good at keeping up appearances.
Must be all that gnomish makeup.
He shrugs again.
Fish makeup.
The stubbies. Well, I suppose I have a few hours until everyone else gets up.
You do, but motions to May. Did you want to check her hand now? I'm not going to stop you.
She shrugs and walks over to May. She pokes May in the forehead.
What do you want?
How are you feeling?
Tired.
But sick?
No.
You didn't draw that symbol anywhere else, just your hands?
Once before, but the hawk was quick to remedy that. It was on a table.
It only works on living things.
I'm sorry, she said it only works on living things?
Nods.
No. That was out of character.
Yes. It only works on living things.
I disagree. That might only have certain effects on living things, but the only reason I realized what she was doing mattered was because I noticed the same profane defilement as when we were in the tower. On the table, she was idly tracing the symbol upon.
Hmm. Well, she takes a small patch, sack out of her satchel, and she lays it in your hands. When you get time in the morning, apply that to your hands. Start sealing your wound. It won't get rid of the scar, but it'll help. Also, it's a beautiful scarf.
Thanks, his name's Tarragon.
I like the pause that just happened.
She pokes it. You don't feel it move. Sure, it looks like a scarf to me.
I run my hands across it.
Carefully rubbing your hands over it, you can feel it ever so faintly breathing. It's in that same exhausted state it's been since last session. Barely perking up to being touched.
What? There's a
seems-
consequence to letting him eat the horrible rat things? No.
It seems like I'm not the only one that has exhaustion. I'm gonna do a little bit of like a medical check on him. See if there's a symbol on him or if it's just him eating bad meat.
You search. Actually, give me a check. Give me a check.
Medicine.
No longer a disadvantage. You're awake. You at least rested enough for that.
13.
Yeah, you trace him a little bit. The only place you find something odd is under his chin. You like to give him scratchies. A little bloody spot. Seems to run in an odd shape around his, chin.
That's when did that get there?
It seems like it's dried, so it's been there a while.
I wouldn't have drawn it on him, would I?
You were asleep.
I don't know. Would you have?
Fuck.
Oh no.
Fuck.
Again, we need to make watching May during shifts our top priority.
I just look at my hands. Specifically like my pointer finger and thumb. And then I look down at Tarragon. We need to get out of this city.
We're leaving in a few hours.
Well, seeing that it's alive, I'll see if I can't find something for him. She gives you a bow and she starts heading toward the door. This time being a little hurried, not being quiet. Well, if anyone's character is naturally a light sleeper, it'll wake you up.
Galen's not a light sleeper.
Otherwise, I won't make you roll for it.
Seeing as Zephyr's from a pretty big family, I think he would be a pretty heavy sleeper.
Yeah, none of his family wakes up. Alright, she skedoodles out. Taking a closer look at Tarragon's wound, you can see that it's not like it's starting to heal, but it is under his chin. It's starting to scar over just like your hand. It's probably been there just as long. Yay! Aragon's not gonna die today.
Today, big quotes, bold, italicized.
I don't know. We'll see.
There's still 24 hours.
No, you're short about 8.
So,
You said today, as in tomorrow, 24 hours.
Shh. So,
semantics aside, is there anything left to the scene, or shall we proceed to checking on Leah and getting ready for the quest?
I mean, you could start doing that. Erdo left the room to go find something for Tarragon to try to help.
Oh, her name's Erdo now.
I said Erda.
No, you said Erdo.
Erda.
Doe.
Word up. Whoa.
Alright, anyway. So, the first thing he would do, since he no longer has to watch May and the door, is prepare his spells. After that, he would immediately leave to check on Leah.
Alright. May, is there anything you're doing while they're preparing spells?
Sitting on my hands again.
Alright. You guys make any attempt to stir your party members?
Well, first, does Zephyr need to prepare spells, or does he just have spells?
He's
just
like a wizard, he
have
just
spells.
has them.
Okay. So,
Alright.
no, if he had to prepare spells like me, I would actually wake him up, but since he just
Well-
has them like a sorcerer, I don't bother.
When he consumes his spells, like a sorcerer, he has to take a short
I know,
rest to
yes,
recover
I
them.
know. I know how recovering spell slots works.
Well, other than that, if he has his full magazine capacity for his spells, then he doesn't have to prepare them.
Yeah. Like, that's what I was qualifying, whether he is a wizard prepared caster type, or whether he's a sorcerer arcane caster type, because he's an arcane, not a divine caster. There's mechanical differences. Anyway, since he doesn't have to literally prepare his spells every day, unlike myself, I don't bother waking him up and let him wake up on his own. I'm much more worried about Leah.
Alright.
Though I would wake somebody up. I would have known by now between Galen, there we go. Galen and Zephyr, who's more perceptive.
My perception is 3. What's your Merrick?
Well, I was just yawning.
No, what's your perception?
Oh, I think it's also
So same perception.
9?
Then. Oh, what?
No, I don't know. It's like I'm looking at
It's-
passive wisdom, and it says perception in parentheses
No,
next to it.
the skills up top.
Yeah. You have a minus. That means you are the least perceptive person
Oh,
here.
then me, I would.
So
yeah.
he shakes Galen away.
Okay, it's at 2.
Okay. That means your passive perception should be at 12, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You
Anyway.
probably just do it out wrong. Anyway.
Yes. She's still better at it than you. He wakes up the barbarian. I need to check on Leah. Please make sure May isn't absent-mindedly, air quotes, scrawling more of those symbols while I'm gone.
Jalen just gives a thumbs up and a yawn. Like, you got it. I'll keep an eye on her.
Immediately leaves.
Alright. You head down into the main guild hall area. Because honestly,
He heads to wherever he thinks Leah is most likely to be at this exact moment.
she's always up first, so she's probably in the foyer.
Okay.
Being said, she is not awake. She's unconscious in her chair.
Oh, goody.
Well, hopefully that means she's not more exhausted, but I am guessing nothing good is the cause of this. Size. Right. It would be that. Hold on. I'm get out my dice. Okay. I think that's a 13 on medicine. Do you have a +6? Yeah, +6.
Okay.
13 medicine to assess her condition.
She's resting. She's probably been asleep for a handful of hours. Not enough to remove a point of exhaustion yet. There's several tankards of ale around her, though. It probably helps contribute to the pass the fuck out.
He sighs, but then smiles as it does not appear to be a magical problem. Regardless, since she finally has passed the fuck out, he moves around the counter, assuming there is a counter.
Yes.
Okay. And gently goes to pick her up and carry her off to her room.
All right. For the sake of future knowledge, their room is nestled off to the side of the kitchen. There's like two doors. One goes into a little house, and the other one goes to the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, you bring her over to her room. As you open the door, just a giant waft of dwarven ale billows out, and you kind of hear mumbling.
He grunts at that, but then sort of chuckles. At least some things don't change. And enters the room.
Alright, you walk in, turn the corner, and you find Gaidern sprawled out across their couch. Upside down, he's got a anchored or a barrel of dwarven ale next to him with a straw, and he's just upside down. There's a puddle of it on the floor.
So does it look like he was doing this equivalent of a keg stand, or does it look like he was drinking and then sort of passed out?
It looks like he was trying to stand it, but did not.
Well, he knows she has levels of exhaustion and is assuming he's just being a drunken idiot. So he takes her to wherever he thinks her bed is, because I doubt he's been in their actual living quarters much, if at all, at this point.
Nope. Well, you take a look around for a little bit, walking around their house. It's weird how the structure of the house is dwarven, and then all the decorations are gnomish. It kind of has this weird blend to it. It has a nice homey feeling. Walking around, you pass the bathroom. Eventually, you do find their bedroom at the furthest door down. You open it up, and I'm not sure I'm allowed to describe it on stream. It's full of sex toys, though. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of room.
Like, he looks and doesn't really register it at first, then he looks again, sort of smirks,
Double take you.
says nothing, but says nothing aside from that. He is still first and foremost concerned with her safety and well-being. So he sets her down on their bed, brushing aside whatever sex toys might be on or around it.
Just a whip.
And then, for lack of a better word, starts medically examining her. Like I'm sure there's a better way to say that, but he looks her over. So is that another medicine roll? Is that perception?
Medicine.
Okay. Oh boy, even worse. I rolled a 3 this time. That's below a 10. It's a 9.
She
no.
looks okay outside of exhaustion.
He doesn't trust that, so he casts Detect Magic on her.
My god, you detect magic.
On her, or...
It's on her.
Okay.
Isn't it like an area of effect, though?
It's an area of effect. It's, or at the very least, in other editions, it's a 60-foot cone. Let me double check what it is in this one.
She starts glowing under the blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna leave it at that.
Is... Oh, okay, range self. You sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you, so I would sense all magic within this room.
Okay, yeah, there's things lighting up here, there, and everywhere. Individual toys.
I was gonna say, I kind of figured their toys would also, at least some of them would also be magical, but the most important thing is that she herself, and not items upon her, registers as magic, yes?
Yes.
Alright, he hones in on the offending part if it is not just her entire body.
It is on her thigh. Also, I'm pretty sure it tells you the type of magic. It's restoration.
Yeah, let's see here. So, for the duration, you sense the presence of magic 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, blah blah blah, doesn't matter for the rest of that. So he frowns at first and then realizes that it's probably something to help with her exhaustion. So he doesn't pry further, leaves her there, thinks to check if there's a lock to this door that can be locked from the outside.
There is not one from the outside, but there is one on the inside.
Okay. So does the door open into the hall or into the room?
Into the hall.
Good. He goes to grab a chair and then wedges it against the handle of the door so it can't be opened from the inside.
Strength check?
Okay. I figured that would just be a mechanical thing of angling it to form a triangle against the door handle. Wow, I'm just fairly consistently rolling 7s, so that's a 9, I think?
Alright. You get the door wedged. You feel confident that at least a commoner won't be able to move it.
Right. Considering what he'd seen her pull off, he's not too confident she won't be able to, but he wants to ensure that she'll not be able to just wake up and immediately go back to work. He goes back to the living room or wherever the fuck it was. The guild drunk was trying to live up to his new nickname I've given him.
Is on the floor. You step in the puddle as you approach.
Oh. This may have been an issue I should have dealt with sooner. He stoops to make sure he's still breathing.
Yeah. You can tell he passed out like this. The beer is like, the ale is like sticky on his face.
Breathe a sigh of relief. You know what? I mean, eventually I'll roll above a 10, but that's still a 12 medicine to assess his condition.
Drunk, shit his pants.
Oh my god!
Oh no, no.
Oh man.
Otherwise, his neck's sealed. It's bandaged well, and
Right.
he appears to be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. He actually wouldn't chuckle at that. That's common enough that he probably wouldn't bat much of an eye at him being shitting his pants drunk.
It's
So,
just a basic dwarf thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
he got
imagine-
shit faced.
Yeah, like it's called shit. It's called shit faced for a reason. So speaking of the face, he gives the face a couple light slaps to try and gently wake him up. Does that work?
No,
Okay.
he burps.
He picks him up and shakes him.
He does not wake up.
Looks for water.
That's
Oh wait, no, he would have filled his water skin at this point, so he just takes his water skin and pours it out on the man's face.
like Mr. Gibbs being woken up by Jack.
I think today is just a day for rolling low. Yeah, he doesn't wake up.
Okay, at this he is incredibly impressed and surprised, and
What
Hold
is
on, let
that
me-
movie where the dead guy gets toted around like he's alive?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's, yeah.
Literally just that.
Like, I gave that a DC check a 12 to wake up. He rolled 1 twice,
Jesus!
and you gave a +4 on the slap and a +8 on the water.
Damn, that dwarvish
I mean-
ale hitting different.
I mean, depending on the type of check this is, ones do
Constitution.
automatically fail it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm checking his person, and no, like the incense sticks are not smelling salts. That's the closest to it. So it's either that or the cheese he had. I imagine just due to the nature of mold, he would have eaten the molded cheese by now. So I'm just gonna say he only has normal cheese left on his person.
Put the incense
Does he
sticks in his nose and light it.
I mean, if I don't have anything better to attempt before just blocking his air passages so he's forced to wake up or choke, which he won't let him choke, but yeah. Anyway, does Geodorn like cheese?
No. You've
Okay.
never seen him eat it.
Has he ever talked about disliking stinky cheese? Because both of these, I believe, were stinky cheeses that he got from Todd.
No.
Alright. So, yeah, no, he lights an incense stick and holds it directly under the dwarf's nose.
To burn his nose hairs.
Christ.
Did you
Nope.
roll low again?
He doesn't wake up.
Oh my
Rolled
God.
a fucking
No,
2.
No. Okay, I was gonna
Are we
ask.
positive he's just not dead?
If he rolls another
We're
1, I'm gonna
positive.
start death saving throws.
We're positive he's not dead.
Yeah, he burped.
Like, yeah. It was a burp, not an escape of gas from a dead body.
At this point, I'm thinking that he just put himself into a fucking coma then.
That would not be that outside of the realm of possibilities, no. So he just sort of leaves the incense there to make fully sure it's had time to try and wake him up. Goes to refill the water skin. Comes back, finds him still asleep.
Wait,
Presumably, yes.
I imagine these are incense you have to light.
Yes, he lit the incense.
Where do you set it?
He said under.
Well, right. He picked him up, so at this point, I imagine he would have set him at a table, set the incense down on a table with like his head, like whatever side was more convenient. So he's like his head is to the side, resting on either its right or its left, and the incense has been set down right in front of his nose.
Good news, he's awake.
Oh, okay.
His beard is
you're
on
awake.
fire.
Uh-oh. Well, he was filling the water skin, so he's got water to throw in his face again.
This time he's awake. He just chuck water in his face, and he's just, the fuck? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, I was... man, I need to workshop his non-masked voice. It's kind of inconsistent.
Hey, what are you doing in my house?
Well, your wife was asleep at the... what do they call that? The quest counter? The...
I thought it was the bar.
Quest
she
counter.
wasn't at the bar. She had alcohol around
Front
her.
desk.
Okay, front desk. Your wife was asleep at the front desk. I thought it prudent to take her back to your bed. I do apologize. I have seen your room.
You're a creature of chaos. You should be into that kind of thing.
Well, I'm not so much into it per se, but yes, I understand the appeal. I'm also something of a doctor, so it's good for a healthy sex life. Drugs.
There's my ale. I'm
Anyway,
thirsty.
I'm sure you are. Unfortunately, I used all the water in this, putting your face out. Sorry for that, by the way. I was desperately trying to wake you up, and left the incense there while I refilled
Hang on,
this.
that's my phone.
No problem.
He inspects Geodern's beard. It's most impressive that it actually caught fire after being drenched with water, though...
It wasn't full flames, it was just embering up.
Uh-huh.
Probably due
when
to...
he takes a closer look at the beard, I'm guessing he finds, like, dried alcohol on it, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah, and then he's like, yes, that would be why it caught flame. My apologies, I found you in a drunken stupor. I should have known better than to leave a burning thing close to your face. Unattended, at least.
Yeah, you've done us a great service.
You've also done your pants.
You've also done your pants.
Reaches to his side, grabs a small bottle, unscrews it. Another one for the pants. Another.
Sorry.
Alright, so he stays and babysits Geodorn until he sobers up. If he tries to drink any more alcohol, he sort of slaps it out of his hand, or tries to at the very least.
Alright.
If you don't like purify food and drinks, make it water.
I do have that, but considering he's the guild master, and I don't think I prepared it. Yeah, I have purify food and drink. I prepared create destroy water, not purify food and drink today.
It should have been funny.
Yep. Actually, I should double check. Like, I thought it said I was a prepared caster, but that might have been the one thing. I might be misremembering how mine works. Anyway, what am I doing? Oh, right, yeah, no. Like, I guess he wouldn't actually slap it out of his hand. Because it's a dwarf, and while he has doctoral authority over a patient, the patient is still his boss, so he shouldn't risk breaking glasses or wasting beer.
Only the dwarf is allowed to do that.
Yeah, so whenever he tries to drink anything other than a non-alcoholic beverage, he yanks it out of his hand, gives him water instead, or juice if they have, and he likes juice, and reminds him, I need you sober for this conversation.
I mean, there's adult juice in the fridge.
Yeah, that's different. That sounds like more alcoholic beverage.
It's wine.
Yeah, exactly. Alcoholic beverage.
I don't think you're gonna get him sober in a decent amount of time, but you can get him awake.
Whatever. He needs him more sober than he is at present.
Alright. I'll give you a couple minutes to sober him up. Cutting back upstairs, Jalen, you hear the door opening. It's kind of hurried. Erda just kind of opens the door and walks past quickly. The door kind of slams behind her, unless you choose to catch it.
He's gonna catch it and just be very confused, like why she was doing that.
And she goes straight over to May and pokes May in the forehead.
Hello. Good morning.
Poke. 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 Come on, wake up.
Did Dick go AFK?
Apparently.
With how Discord's been acting up, it would not surprise me that's actually the problem we're facing here.
Well, she's gonna take Aragon and start treating his chin, since May is not here to stop her.
Huzzah.
Hooray!
After realizing Tarragon was under the weather, the Hawk was interested, but he's much more familiar with humanoids, so he figured prioritizing Leah was a better call.
It is. God knows I need to see her bedroom.
I am most happy. Oh, hey, she back. Or they back, rather.
Oh, hey, Erda kind of just came in and took Tarragon. You weren't really here to
Yeah, she poked your forehead a few times, but since you went AFK, there wasn't a reaction, so...
She's sitting on the other side of the room next to Jalen, treating his chinny chin. His chinny chin chin.
He's
Fair
Chinnigan?
enough. Finnegan.
His orange dwarvish
Oh,
beard.
Chinnigan. Yeah.
Godric Ferguson. Anyway, it starts talking to Jalen. Well, May is realizing that Tarragon is across the room, asking how you rested.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I rested pretty good.
Seems you guys had a mostly quiet night.
Oh, thank goodness for that, at least.
Well, not due to the lack of company.
Oh, I know, that's not why I said that. Just, didn't want anything else horrible to happen.
What? No. No.
And
The people totally aren't actively surveilling us.
Oh, definitely not.
We'll just take some of the sex toys and just give them a show.
I mean, they do have restoration magic cast upon them.
Who?
Sex toys.
Ah!
What?
That makes sense.
What?
It's sexual healing.
Well, not what I was thinking.
Well, no,
but
it's for stamina.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. It restores. I kind of
Yeah.
figured it was for restoring stamina, considering, sex actively drains that.
Look, I never
Yeah.
expected anyone to go there, so I filled some of the stuff you guys were never supposed to go to with dumb stuff.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
The hockey should take one.
No.
Just take the
Oh,
enormous bad dragon with the greater restoration.
Yes.
He already has one. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's what's his? Yeah, he might be chaotic good. And as tempting as it would be to take one of those, unless one of them is literally draconic and he felt the need to curiously compare it to his own, he probably wouldn't touch any of them.
I don't
I
know.
know,
You didn't look around that, but it could have been one.
It's just funny. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she treats Tarragon.
How's he doing?
I mean, he's all right considering he was nearly dead and had the symbol drawn on his chin.
Our poor little guy.
No.
After a couple minutes of the medical tending, he starts to stir a little bit. Not really like scampering around, but stretching.
Yay!
It brings it back over to May, and May gets floofy noodle. Low energy.
Also, being low energy, I'm like, oh, we need to leave this place, little guy. It's been doing nothing but curse us.
That's for damn sure.
Either way, you guys should probably start getting a move on. The rest of the guild hall will be up soon.
Yeah.
We don't want a mishap of what happened last time. All those fucking faces looking at us, accusing us.
Rug. You pay attention to those?
No. But my player does.
Just looks at the camera. Anyway, Jill will go see if Zephyr and his family are. Zephyr's in the same room. If Zephyr's family is up and if they're about ready to go.
On close inspection, you notice that Zephyr and his mom are still asleep. His little sister, on the hand, is awake. She is playing in the corner of the room with a whetstone, and she is filing a piece of the floor.
What are you doing?
Shh! I made a spike for the rat. She points at a small little hole in the corner of the room. You can see that right next to it. Like, it's within arm's reach of her. She's just put down a bunch of tiny shreds of the floor with like pointed spikes on it.
Shit.
Well, as long as it doesn't become a problem, I think it'll be alright. Jill's gonna walk over to Zephyr now after patting his sister on the head and just pinch his cheek. Just wake up.
Alright, I'm up. I'm up.
Goody. Should probably get ready to get going.
Right. And I just kind of start getting my gear together as I wake up.
Yes, good. The movement of you shuffling around and the clanking of metal fully stirs your sister, who was maybe asleep, cough cough, maybe she didn't sleep at all, and your mom.
What?
What?
That's you. Oh, I didn't know she didn't sleep.
There's like 8 of those little splinters over there. She must have been doing it for a while.
I didn't think about that.
Wanted to play with the Zeffy toy. And it could have been worse. She could have found other things.
I'm not liking how she's calling weapons and hardware Zeffy toys.
Well, she's in her big brother's room. What is she gonna do?
Moving on.
Yeah. So everyone's awake now to some extent.
I'm gonna be using the bathroom real quick.
Good. Zephyr, you've gotten your stuff together and your family is awake. May is holding Tarragon lovingly. Erda is in the room against the wall. Galen's, walking around getting everyone up. What are you doing? It's your decisive action.
Just making sure my mother and sister are ready to go. While I double check like rations and stuff.
Your mother tells you she hasn't slept like that since she was a teenager. She just kind of leans to the left and you hear like 2 of her spine vertebrae snap.
Ew.
Ugh.
Worrisome.
I mean, she is in her 50s. And she slept on a cot on the floor.
Ah.
Only fair.
We'll get to Hawk to look at that.
I'm fine. It's normal. Don't worry, the rats didn't break my back.
You don't need to hawk, you need sweets from Atlantis.
Sweet.
That was an out of character joke.
Oh.
That's why I said sweets
Again,
from Atlantis.
in character voices, very helpful for that reason.
Right. You all start stirring and standing up, and everyone seems like they're ready, so Erda tells you she'll go downstairs and get the kitchen started. And she makes her way out of the room. Jalen, what about you? What are you doing?
Well, if they have anything upstairs and be carried downstairs, she'll help carry it downstairs to get us. I'm assuming we're gonna take a carriage or something. I don't know how we're getting there.
I don't believe that was discussed since we made the decision to do it at the very end of the last session.
It was not.
True. By the way, Jail's gonna carry their stuff downstairs for them.
Yeah.
Alright, you start bringing everyone's stuff downstairs so it's ready to go. May isn't here, so I guess the Hawk, you're trying to wake up Gaidern.
Right, I'm just trying to sober him up enough that I can actually have a conversation with him rather than him being drunk as a skunk.
About
As a side note, real quick, after Jalen does carry stuff downstairs, she'll go back up to May to make sure she's not alone.
okay.
Just because the Hawk have.
About the 7th time you catch him falling asleep and waking up, he's kind of getting to that point where he's like still drunk, but like so that he's just kind of moping. I think that's probably about as good as you're gonna get him.
Yeah. Excuse me.
He's not doing a great job of passing these con rolls.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't have to be, since there's somebody else actively trying to sober him up. It just means it'll take longer.
Right.
He sighs, and I'm gonna double... Like, he wouldn't have thought he needed to deal with drinking, but let's make sure any of this... Because I did double check, and I do have to prepare from the spell list specific spells that consume slots. Anyway, yeah, no, none of the ones I have would actually help with this witchery. Like, that's everything. Oh, wait, it's... oh. Actually, yeah, no, forgot about that one. That one's a good one. Since he's struggling with this shit so much, would casting guidance on him help?
Sure.
Alright, he just starts doing that each time it, like, I think whenever the D4 is used,
Yeah.
it's a living creature. Once before the spell ends, the target can roll that. Yep, yeah, when that's done, the spell ends. So after each time he does it, he just guidance pokes him again.
You know, the first time you do that and I roll, he rolls high enough to wake up on his own.
Whatever.
Dumb fucker. Alright, he's awake. Groggy. Summon the alcohol container in his hand.
Okay.
Saying that you're in here must be important. What do you want?
Well, as I told you when you were barely awake enough to function,
Yep.
I found your wife asleep at the front desk. I brought her back. She's in your room now. I propped a chair against it to try and keep her from leaving. You need to make sure that she gets sleep. Also, there was some restorative magic on her.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay. Considering it was on her thigh, I thought it prudent not to look into it myself.
Probably
That's-
wearing her restoration. I forget what it's called. It's a little fuzzy band you wear around your leg. Garter, somehow.
Oh, yes. Garter belt.
That
Or
thing.
just garter? Yes, the garter belt keeps the garter up.
Could have chained her to the bed. I would have kept her there.
There were chains.
Don't worry.
Oh boy.
Don't worry about it.
Oh boy.
How did I miss the chains?
You're so fascinated with the toys.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Those are things he is saying in character out loud.
We're just being
What?
funny if you like that.
No.
I know
no.
you're being shit. I'm pointing it out so that
The
Dylan
only-
has
The only thing that matters is that they're there. And she really likes them.
Dwarf
Either way,
being
I don't
open-minded,
think
that's very nice.
Yeah. Either way, I don't think she would have a restful sleep in manacles.
You use the fuzzy ones.
True. Those would be the ones you have. Anyway, please make sure that she takes today, and honestly, considering how fatigued she is, probably the next few days off. I was quite impressed that, given how thoroughly exhausted she was able to do much of anything yesterday. Especially impressed she managed to do that. Points to his neck.
You've got no idea how much groundwater she drinks every day. Just as much as I drink. Ew.
So, because you're doing a gravelly voice, I just want to make sure I heard him correctly. Did he say ground water or
Groundwater. It's their coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how I have a thermos of brown water in my inventory.
Yeah, I figured it was brown. I just needed to make sure I heard him correctly because I thought I heard him say ground.
Groundwater.
He nods. I would cut her off from that entirely. We need her to rest in bed, and I imagine if she has any of that in her system, she's not going to get the full 12 hours of rest she needs to recuperate a day.
Does that count dwarvish brown water?
He sighs and then goes over the various beverages that she should be drinking to help her recuperate, and specifies that he should try and make sure that she only drinks those and nothing else when it comes to drinking.
Alright. You guys go do your assignment. Behave. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
All right. Before you do, I suggest you change your pants.
Well, I'll zoom with it when I get up.
All right. I imagine by now you might be developing diaper rash. That's your call, though.
Based.
Nothing a little raw ass didn't solve.
Oh my goodness.
He nods, smirks, smiles, smirks, chuckles, and waves goodbye before leaving to find the rest of his party.
Man, I bet you're happy that one of Tiamat's guidances isn't chastity.
Oh yeah, no, like if it were chastity, this would have been a very, very different conversation. Though, if it weren't Tiamat that he worshipped, like, he would have been a dwarf, so this also would have been very different for other reasons.
Ooh, yeah, that's not going that one. That's a whole new can of worms.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, May, just a quick update on you. You were taking care of your ferret. They started moving things downstairs, so you guys can get ready to leave. Did you stay put and take care of your ferret, or did you make your way downstairs too?
I'm gonna saddle up and get my stuff ready to leave, yeah.
Okay. Then after, you don't have to worry about coming back up to babysit. They'll come down with you.
Okay, I just want to make sure he watch over.
Tarragon's a ferret? I thought he was a
They're
weasel.
Yes, he is
A
a
giant
giant weasel. So
Ah.
he is, in fact, a small-sized creature, placing him in the same size category as a human child, or halflings.
It's like the comparison of the gerbil on screen to you guys.
Yeah.
It's a foofy boy.
Basically take like a python, give it legs, and a lot of floof. And there you go. That's roughly Tarragon.
Accurate.
For a cookie, I give him a treat. Okay. Give me a second. I gotta give him a treat.
I noticed. Alright, quick, while he's away. Once he comes back, should I give them a treat?
Yes.
I gave them 4. I can still hear you.
Oh,
Shit!
Damn it!
Bastards.
I'm getting mine ready right now.
Just let them enjoy themselves. God.
Oh, no. It's just that they enjoy themselves. The point is to torture you.
But the story doesn't continue.
There is
man,
a
it
distinct
wasn't me,
lack
at
of
least.
tube in there. Mm.
There you go. I hope you can see the tube.
Yeah, I can't really, thanks to the overlay.
Wait
Yeah.
for it. My stream is still picking up.
No, I can see it.
There you
Like,
go.
there we go. Yeah, now I can see it a lot better. Like, it was just barely peeking up above the DM screen before.
No,
there you go.
my side of it is still a little bit behind.
Uh,
Oh wait, there it is. All right, I see it now.
Yeah.
Anyway. Herbal shenanigans this song. Tog, you walk back out and you see your party in the front room. The server that's, usually in the kitchen is just starting to get set up. If you guys want food, it'll be a little bit. It's a great time to discuss your plan of operation. Or your rodents.
So, considering we're escorting a noble, does that mean we're taking a carriage there or just on the way back?
I have a feeling that he's the only one that's gonna have a carriage, and we have to go there by foot.
Can't really
the
tell
luxuries
otherwise.
Of being, yeah, the luxuries of being rich.
Considering the larger party we have, did we want to charter a carriage for ourselves?
I have a feeling that they're going to be all busy, considering the state of our town.
Doc shrugs.
can
I
try.
would imagine there are going to be a lot of people, but yes, we should try. There is no reason not to attempt it if that is what we want to do.
Alright. So, as you guys are talking about hiring a carriage, Erda comes downstairs. And she asks if she can accompany you guys, if that's okay.
I honestly don't see any issue with that myself. Looking to the others, you guys think there's anything wrong with that?
The Hawk gives a thumbs up.
Seeing as I was told to keep my mouth shut around here, I had to shrug.
That's fine by me.
She glares at you, May. You can speak.
I stare at her.
The Hawk leans in. That's a yes. If it were a no, she'd have said such.
I nod.
Alright. She goes over to the counter, starts grabbing the toasts and drinks that came out first and brings them over to a big table. Your mom and your sister start happily eating. I don't suppose anyone will be up to clean up the mess.
Wait, what mess?
Breakfast. It's usually Leah's job.
Nom, 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 nom.
I imagine before we in character chit-chatted, he would have explained where he was and let them know that, yeah, no, she's going to be indisposed of for a couple of days if Geodern follows his directions.
Well,
Oh, to clarify, since I never asked, was he wearing his brown pants at least?
God damn it, dog.
Not gonna answer that question.
Alright, I'm assuming his pants were not brown before he sat down.
God damn it.
If they're brown, you're sitting down.
Shit and britches.
Yeah,
Oh god.
Jesus
I
Christ.
know. His drinking pants are brown.
Well,
I
I
wonder
mean-
why.
Look at the bright side. You have a wonderful breakfast story to tell.
I mean, he doesn't share this story here. That's gonna be a story he shares as soon as they actually get on the road and other guild members can't hear him literally shit talking about the guild master.
That's fair. So you guys get your breakfast. You know, she brings out just random smorgasbords of, you know, veggies and meats. Nothing specific, nothing tailored, just whatever was available.
Yeah.
It sits down. You know, enjoying your food. So, you guys have a shipment to pick up? She asks. Erda.
More so a person, I think, to pick up. Nom.
She nods.
Oh, and food. Yeah, it was fish. More correctly.
Ah. No, I don't need any cut of it. I just wanted to know what we were doing.
Navigating a forest.
Fun.
Very.
The dense side of the forest, too.
Yeah, it's my favorite part. It's very relaxing. Comforting, even.
Gives you a nod.
Don't
I
worry, as
believe
long
they
as...
said the fish. You first.
No worries, so long as you're within my company and considered party. You won't have trouble with difficult terrain that much, so just stick by me and I'll be your guide.
And I believe the fish we're to pick up are coming in from the, what they call it, the Isle of Sirens.
Nods.
I believe he was the one that wanted to fish there, which is why we're bringing him to the city.
That makes sense. Unfortunately, I think we'll be a few days late for the drinking contest.
Oh no.
Although the Tobro was renowned for its sap-based alcohol. Heavy as shit in this side of Talea.
Sounds syrupy.
Oh, whoops. I misinterpreted that. I thought you meant we'll be late for the drinking contest that they were going to hold here. He did not say, oh no, then. He does like, since it's a Tobro thing, he does sigh. That's a shame. It would have been a nice thing to lighten the mood with once we got there.
Yeah, I think it happened like 3 days ago.
Oh.
Drugs. Ah, well. I'm sure there's still some leftover ale we can pick up. The stuff is really heavy. It basically is a meal and a drink.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's kind of a drinking contest. Interesting.
Your comment about chugging syrup is very apt. No soft singing music. Well, this isn't really appropriate music either. It fit last time. Anyway, you guys get your breakfast in you.
Yep.
And you said you're going to try to procure a cart.
Yes.
Commission one, steal one, any way that we can.
I don't. Considering this is guild business, I don't think we'll be stealing it. If we're doing something that's not guild business, Dahak doesn't care.
Well, you'd have to pick it up on near the outside of town on your way out.
Uh-huh.
There we go. I rode. The carriages are all hooked up near the outskirts of town. So you have to pick it up on your way out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way out into the city streets where it is still raining. You remember that vision you got very briefly of the city all gray and crumbled? It's definitely gray now, Jalen.
Oh, goody.
Yay!
Like, it's so gray, it looks like nobody lives in it. But you can actively see people still walking around.
Is it still raining ash?
Yes. It never stopped.
That would probably be why. Imagine it's going to start staining things soon. If it hasn't already.
As you make it through town, it's still early. You hear some of the general merchant chit-chat, as they're trying to keep out of the rain, talk with one another. They say all food reserves are really low. Hopefully this damn rain lets up soon. Other than that, you see Todd Howard's cart. He's now selling gray umbrellas.
Can I walk
Dude.
over to his cart and kick it over again?
You're not exerted this time, so give it a shot.
As I walk over, I give him a smile and a wave.
Ah, you're here to buy one of those luxurious stained gray
Then I kick
shish
over his
kebab.
cart.
Oh,
Oh.
he just stops and looks at you like, that cart costs money.
I close my eyes and give him like deep, dimply cheek smirks, and then as I walk away, I flip him off.
He just sits on his cart, puts his hand on his knee, kind of rubs his lips, and watches you walk away.
His lips?
Yep. Like he's in thought, just kind of playing with his lips.
Oh, so like he's holding his chin with his fingers and he's just brushing his lips with his thumb, like so. Like the heel of his hand is on his chin.
Yeah, like after I thought about it, I realized what Dylan meant. It was more just initially when he said rubs his lips that made me think of I wasn't. Yeah, I just hadn't heard it described that way before. Is all.
Well, thank you for your patronage.
I wave my hand, but the only finger that's up is my finger. Oh.
You guys start making your way down the district. You get over the outskirts where the carts are held. There's quite a few carts available. Different issue though.
No horses.
There's no horses. The only horse you see is lying on its side, and it's covered in baby rats.
Oh, goody.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, I suppose that does explain the food thing I was going to ask these businessmen about. If the rain and/or rats has been enough to fell all the horses, it surely is enough to get rid of our food stores.
Oh, you don't know the half of it. Merchant sitting on a barrel in the corner, rubbing his face.
Looks over.
It's starting to weigh down all the fields too.
I'm sorry, weigh them down?
I nudged the hawk and whisper, remember there were burrow holes in the wheat fields we saw on our first exit?
All the fields are flooded. The plants are just toppling over. No more roots can hold down. A couple weeks before harvest, no less.
If we don't get that harvest.
Oh boy.
Had not given that thought. Oh. Fuck.
That harvest won't just affect the town; it'll affect cities around it too. You know, the
Yeah, like,
smaller villages.
This is a pretty big city, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. About 6,000 people.
I tug the Hawk's sleeve and kind of bring him in for an ear, saying, "What if that idea that I had about the aqueducts, was accurate? How all that poison went into them? Like, what if they redirected the flow of that water into the fields and flooded it?"
He pauses to ponder that a moment. I suppose there's no harm in suggesting they do something like that. We should definitely remind them that our being alerted to the rats being a part of the problem came from finding a nest of them out in a field. Like, the wheat field we found it in, was it a farmed wheat field or just a wild wheat field?
It was a farmed wheat field.
Yep. Okay. And on a farm, no less.
Anyway, he gets down. What can I do for you today?
Well, I'm guessing all the surviving horses are out of town.
Well, most of them went out last night on export runs, but they should have been back by now.
That sounds worrisome.
It certainly seems like all of our problems are compiling at once, yes.
Just a bad week, I guess.
Again, you don't know the half of it. So, I guess we don't need your services as there's no animals to pull any of the carts or carriages we wished to charter.
Gives you a nod. Well, stay safe on the road then.
Nods and offers him 5 gold for his troubles.
Thanks, you. If I ever get the business back up and running, you need a cart at a discount.
He smiles. Not that you can tell with the mask on.
Nope.
And says, "Oh. Well, I suppose one good deed deserves another. Thank you, sir."
Gives you a warm smile and a nod. Erda is just kind of looking back toward Todd and asking why you kicked over his cart. One of those umbrellas probably would have been nice.
She looks at her.
It's
I don't like him either, but the products are useful.
it's a long story. We can tell it to you on the road.
He gives you a nod. Do you guys start heading out?
Yeah.
No reason not to.
All right.
Though, as we pass whatever guards are stationed at the gate area, if May doesn't mention it to them, the Hawk mentions.
Well, on that note, I actually have some bad news for you.
Oh boy, is the city closed?
There are no guards.
That's
Are they-
concerning.
If you recall, you haven't seen guards, or I haven't mentioned them, in a couple days now. Ever since you directed the guard toward the church.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, I guess they're having to help.
Oh,
Like
dear.
well, 1 hour in there for us was 13 hours out here. So doing some basic math, if they've been in there for like 6 hours, that's over 3 days, which we haven't been in yet. So, yeah, extreme time dilation.
So even if they haven't like got overwhelmed in there, then they're still like they still have a long way to go before they can come back out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
That's concerning.
Look, Gale, don't judge them for their decisions. They didn't know what they were doing.
we should probably alert the guilds to this. Well, no, I'm surely the guild or the town council. Actually, wait, is it a town council that runs this place? What's the name of the governing body?
The
It would,
underground with the dwarves are run by their own autocracy, and then like there's like a republic up here in the city.
yep.
What's the name of the actual governing body of this town specifically? That's what he would use.
The Kevzar Court.
Considering they've been gone for so long, the Kevzar court would have to know about this, and I'm guessing it's hard to take actions to address it given the myriad of problems that not bothering to vet the priests that claimed they could erect the tower in one night has wrought.
Erda has 2 comments on this line of thinking. First is, I don't know how a bunch of 75-plus-year-olds are going to help you without the guard. And second, I don't know if you want to bring it to their attention. It kind of goes in that line of not mentioning.
We could always do the extreme and try to just recruit people to our cause and be all like, make everybody know.
We're not calling attention to the tower. I would be calling attention to the fact that no one is defending the city. That is a huge problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now would be the best time to rise up and consume the proletariat.
He shakes his head and chuckles.
Well,
Considering how poorly they are running this city, I would not be against it, but considering the plague the city is dealing with, I would say that now is a pretty terrible time to do that.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
in all honesty, the dwarves will probably take it over. It's probably for the best.
Eat the rich.
Either way, we should probably... He thinks on it and realizes that if this is how it is, we probably should go find some official and point out that none of the guard stations, or at the very least this one, aren't managed. Isn't manned, he said. Not managed.
Alright, where do you want to go then?
Wherever he would find some sort of official that might be able to do something about that.
This is
Like
like some
the
kind of city building, yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
let's go to the K Court.
The closest, the closest place that he could find someone such as that, yeah. Wherever, he doesn't care which, he just wants to go there and then leave.
I would actually like to not go in deeper into town. I do not feel great going into town when we're this close to getting out. So do you mind if I just like wait out here with our cart for you guys to come back?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I want to stay here too.
He gives them both a thumbs up. Good. I was going to ask somebody to stay and make sure you weren't doodling again, May.
Listen, I've already apologized for that. I didn't know I was doing it.
He pats her back. I'm not shaming you. I'm just saying it is a problem that we need to be aware of, still exists, and could kick in at any time.
So who's going to do the court paperwork?
God.
Who's gonna have 12 episodes of filing paperwork in fucking bureaucracy enough?
You know, you treat it like a joke, but there was an entire session of my campaign that Becca decided she was going to devote to tax paperwork.
Oh, God.
I remember there was one in one of my campaigns where Becca dedicated herself to try to get her stuff back from the guards. She had to sit in the waiting room for the captain to show back up and was like, hey, you have to fill in these forms. And she was like,
I can't write.
I'm a barbarian. What are these scratches on this paper mean?
The Hawk,
Hang on, I gotta find something to post and.
yeah. Upon realizing what he's about to be walking into, Dahak does, try to rub the bridge of his nose, but it's covered by the mask, so he just settles for wiping off whatever soot has presumably accumulated on the eye holes without him realizing.
I'm sure the bureaucracy has...
And makes a note to buy umbrellas for everyone on the way in. Because he's probably going to be passing by Todd again.
Alright, so who wants to go on the tax adventure?
I mean, Dahak doesn't want to, but he's doing it.
Ooh, me.
Alright, Zephyr, go.
Have fun. I'm staying back with the other two.
Oh boy, it's boys club and girls club.
What about Tarragon? Take Tarragon with you.
I hand Tarragon to Dahak and ask if he wants to take him with him for tax collection.
I mean, if you offer Tarragon, he'll take Tarragon. That'll be a very good emotional support thing for what is likely to be a soul-crushing endeavor.
I pet the top of Tarragon's head and tell him that Dahak will be taking care of you now. Just be within his eyesight, please.
Okay, I'm not gonna role play the tax paperwork. Please, for the love of God.
Yeah, I didn't think.
I mean, I didn't think this would be a big thing, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized it could be. Anyway, so myself.
No, turn this into that one episode of Futurama where Hermes is
Shut the
literally
fuck
going
up.
through that one building all episode.
No. Oh God.
Anyway, the three of us leave for the courthouse, or wherever is the closest part to this particular guard gate.
I'm skipped. Oh, look, you're there.
Yeah. Do we pass Todd on the way there?
Yep, he's parked right outside the court. He's currently filing a complaint against a pointy-eared knife fucker and is ahead of you in the line.
Upon seeing him, I walk up and ask if he still has umbrellas.
Of course I have umbrellas. Been raining for 3 days.
How much are they?
I don't know. Your friend kicked over my cart. Probably broke a couple of them.
In the distance, you can see that I'm
He
raising
says-
my hand high up and flipping them off still.
I'll sell you a golden umbrella. What do you say?
He nods. Okay, so we got, 5 people? Alright, so that's 5 gold and gives him another couple gold to pay for the broken umbrellas. So that's 7 gold.
He gives you a nod and hands you these umbrellas wrapped in official Todd Howard merchandising plastic. Don't ask where it came from.
Always on brand.
It just works.
My brand.
My brand.
My brain.
Seeing that you ponied up for the cart instead of the city, he takes his cart elsewhere. You get up to the counter. You remember Zootopia, the DMV?
Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Super slow old guy.
Oh no.
Hey.
Nick.
How can I
Stop.
help
That hurt. Stop.
you?
What do you want to report? Just tell me what you want to report.
You're the one who makes like if you don't want this to become a thing, stop making it a thing by making jokes.
I know.
Anyway, I was just waiting for you to actually roleplay him out because evidently you've given him an actual character rather than it's an old man. Alright, so
Oh. Is he? Can't do that voice. Is he?
So-
I gotta file your paperwork, Mr. Todd. Stamp, 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 stamp.
So, hello. We were just at the insert name of town gate here, and there were no guards. Were you aware of that?
Hang on, there's a paper here. Yeah. I found this pinned to my window this morning. All the guards are on holiday this week. I don't question these things.
Holiday.
It shows you the paper. It's written in a very sketch handwriting.
He says, "This is a forgery. We received a similar one. They are not on holiday. They are almost certainly dead."
Did you kill the town guard?
Did I give you this note?
I'll alert the town guard
Oh,
for
wait
this.
a minute.
Fucking bro. How the fuck did I know? It's
Well, when they get back from vacation, I'm reporting you.
Jesus.
I look forward to the dwarves reclaiming this place. Good day, sir.
What do you mean reclaiming? They live under our feet.
The what?
He just sort of stares at him. I'm surprised you're actually cognizant enough to realize the logical error in how I phrased that. That said, get fucked, old man.
Good
Leaves.
old timer.
Despite this sounding brief, it takes an hour.
So within
I
that
mean,
hour, I want to test something.
I mean,
Yeah.
we walked.
Well,
we had to
hang
walk
on.
there and back.
Hang on, they get experience for their trip. They get 15 experience.
Oh boy!
So while they're gone for that hour, can I see something real quick?
Oh boy.
Sure.
Is there any store that's close by to me?
Aren't they all closed?
Doesn't mean that the stuff isn't in there.
I mean,
Oh.
there's an armor smith.
I'm gonna go over to the armor smith and look through the windows.
There's no window on this armor smith. So you can't
Oh, is
read
it
the
like
sign
an open
because
face
it's
shop.
yeah. You can't read the sign because it's completely grayed out. But as you approach the counter, you see a very annoyed-looking young man.
Is it a dwarf?
Nope.
Is it the dad from the Wallen and Smith stand?
It's the son.
Hey kid, where's the old fart?
Dad, it's back.
It's back.
Oh.
He did
Wait,
it.
yeah, I thought these two were dwarves.
As he turns around, I'm gonna grab the hem of his shirt while still smiling and pull him towards me and say, "What do you mean it? I don't have Tarragon with me." Still smiling.
I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse my boy. He's very impolite. What can I do for you, you gorgeous hunk of woman?
Oh
Oh, well, now that you mention it, I give him a beaming smile. I would like to report some damages on my glove. Apparently, the quality wasn't up to the
Oh.
advertisement, so I would like it repaired, or maybe, perhaps a
Replacement?
a substitute. Yeah, replacement, substitute, something of equal or greater value. I'll be more than happy to oblige any price that you would suggest.
Well, unfortunately, it's town policy. Unless you have a receipt, I can't refund it or make on any
right.
good to the deal.
I pull out a piece of paper from my cloak and I hand it to him. What says on it, it just says something in Elvish to him. And seeing as he doesn't know Elvish, I'm just gonna say that that should suffice enough.
Well, he presumably doesn't know Elvish. He might. Does he know Elvish?
He puts on reading glasses, narrows it. Ma'am, I don't write in cursive. This isn't a receipt from my store. I can't accept it. I'm sorry.
Are you sure?
Being said, if you'd like to go out on a date, I'd happily
Oh my
oblige.
god.
Oh, that definitely is tempting. Especially with your, silvery charm.
But of course, once you go black, you never go back.
Blacksmith, I assume.
Oh my god.
So is he a black dwarf then? Like one of the literally black
The
skinned
Stone
dwarves?
War.
No, she's a drow.
What?
He's a drow?
No,
No.
you're a drow.
Okay.
She's- oh,
He meant himself.
for himself going black. Okay. Still, that pun on him being a blacksmith stays.
Yes.
I can show you how to pound the metal.
Oh, really?
Oh no!
Fasten down the hatchet.
Well, as a ranger, I can certainly show you a thing or two on how to work a shaft.
This
An
is
arrow, at
definitely,
least.
this is definitely a more interesting question.
I can't wait for this shit to get clipped. Like, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna clip it, aren't you?
You're gonna highlight it. I'm gonna highlight the whole thing.
No.
It's going on YouTube on its own. I'll
Bro.
take being flagged. Worth it.
Did you point? I forget whether I saw it on there, but I remember seeing the Ratiti Dand separately
Oh, yeah.
recently.
It was as a
Was-
short.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a short. All right.
Oh, that was great. So
I
anyway,
can teach you how to polish a few buckles.
I placed
Whoa.
10 gold on the counter and ask him
Sorry,
if he's
Bug
sure.
Spider.
I'm. Whoa. Bruh.
Probably our youngest viewer.
Uh-oh.
Oopsie.
They're still old enough, just saying.
I placed
I
10
mean,
gold
we
on the
weren't
counter.
actually using the sex words. We were just flirting, so I think that's fine.
So yeah, I put 10 gold on the counter, and I ask him if he is sure that, company policy says that I can't, return this without the receipt. I am willing to spend more than I was on these for a new set of gloves, if he's happy to oblige. And I would consider taking him up on that date the next time I'm in town.
Hmm.
There
Same
was-
type of glove.
Something that's a bit more comfortable for my bow, and maybe a little bit more sturdy against the palm.
Gives a nod. Gets down. You can see him
Yes.
kind of rocking back and forth as he goes to grab that humming a little tune. Comes back up. He comes up with something. It's very similar to like a workout glove. You know, the fingerless topped, heavy pads in the center. And it tells you if you got a couple minutes, I can stitch some lace around it so it'll go up to your elbow.
That would be perfect.
Gives you a nod. And he sits right on the counter and starts working on the stitching for it on spot. So what kind of food you like, miss?
I am a fan of prepared food. You know, like hunting and gathering my own stuff, but I am a huge gourmand for fish.
Bridge.
I make good fish and jerkin.
Mmm.
Why do I always forget that there's a food called jerkin?
I'm sure that you are very familiar with jerkin, your fish.
Oh my god.
I thought I got away with that one. Damn it. Anyway, well, you guys continue being flirting while, you know, he's working on his thing. I'm gonna cut over to Erda and Jalen.
Hello. I exist.
Erda just like looking at you like, is this normal? I'm gonna be honest, I find this really off-putting. Mom and the daughter are just there like, Mommy, what's he talking about?
Find out what
Wait,
you-
they followed us? I thought this was just my own thing.
I actually thought it was their own thing too.
Nah, I'm dragging you guys along.
Oh my god.
I mean, they don't have to follow you, but honestly, what the fuck else are they gonna do?
Sit in the rain.
Yeah,
Fair.
Mm.
Just out of the corner of your eye, you just hear that. What are they talking
They're
about?
literally like a block away from us. I look over and they just hide behind scenery. It's like, stop snooping, you fucking pervs.
What? I wouldn't say it's perving.
If only
Yeah,
Zephyr
really
would
not
sit down and find a
considering-
young lass.
it's really not
Mhm.
considering you're in a public space.
This entire situation is just funny.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So, what brought you to the city, Jalen?
Just kind of work, wanted to see the world, shit like that. It was on the way.
Are you native to Talea, or did you come from further north?
I'm from, I don't know the name of the desert
Y-
area,
y-
actually.
You're from Talea.
Yeah, from Talea.
Like, not it's the Talayan desert, but yeah, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
where. The desert. You'll know. She gives you a nod.
I'm dressed, that's why I'm always dressed so light.
Hey, if you're used to it, there's no harm in it.
It's what I prefer.
I'm surprised you went more north and you just didn't take a boat to the west. Heading west, you got more different types of warmer climates like beaches and jungles.
I'll make a note of that.
And yeah,
did not
sure, it's
know.
a good sail away, but I've heard before that there are actually lizard people over there. Don't really know if it's the same thing, kind of gestures that you had. I'm gonna be honest, your race is a little new to me.
I'm like the hawk.
Well, both of you, but it's
He's
unique.
more shiny.
I've
Well,
noticed.
Like, in terms of what she's talking about, Merrick, it's kind of like lizard folk and dragonborn are related in that they're both reptiles, but it would be like comparing humans to Neanderthals, or actually, since that's probably still far too closely related, like comparing humans to elves.
That one's got pointy ears.
Just to give you, like
I resent that.
actually, no, I think it probably would be more like comparing specifically humans to drows, because, like, yeah, they're both fleshy humanoids without scales or fur, but they're pretty different.
Yeah.
Like, one of us is actually draconic, the others are called lizard folk because they are lizard people, not dragons. So just reiterating, or not reiterating, but just making that clear so you know why her saying that has the weight it has.
Is that for Merrick, you said?
No, that was for you.
Oh,
You're
you
the
said
one
Merrick.
talking
Yeah,
to
is that
Erda.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. Yeah, I know, I get you.
Anyway, so yeah, the boys are on their way back. You guys are kind of coming back into this little powwow. Everyone's in a general circle watching May do her thing. May, he finishes lacing the gloves and tells you that you look good
I'm
in
gonna
some.
grab dinner real quick. I'll be right back. You won't take
Alright.
long.
Yeah, he tells you look good in some other lace as well.
Not bad.
Just a very, on point dwarf. You can see his big goofy nose.
I slide the 10 gold over to him. And I ask him if that's all. He, if gloves are all that he can do.
It can do other things. Slides the gold back. Softens his
really?
eyebrows and just looks at your eyes.
Oh boy, free gloves.
Oh boy, free gloves, thanks, bye. He just walks away. No. Fuck.
You be more careful with those gloves, miss. Wouldn't want to hurt those little fingies eaters.
Little thing.
Have much more delicate uses.
I bet you do. I'll be sure to keep a careful track of them.
I am only saddened now because the Hawk would totally point out how they're not too delicate to rip the hole in the gloves in the first place. Anyway, proceed.
I think we're getting pretty close to finishing up this conversation.
I have returned.
Unless he has something else that he has in mind.
It looks like you're going out on the road, huh? Packed pretty heavy.
Not quite. Recently my food supplies have run short, but I plan on foraging on the way to our next destination. Apparently we're going to be going over to... It was, well, what was the city called? It was the... I have it in my notes somewhere. Tobero, right?
Yes.
We're heading over to Tobero to pick up a noble.
And fish.
Well, perhaps you'd like a kiss for good luck. Leans over the counter. At this point, you can see his son behind him, like, actively, like, pretending to hurl, like, God.
That's the thing. Seeing his son's reaction, it makes me feel like, should I just pursue this out of spite of him?
Oh hell yeah!
It's just out of the
Do it.
spite of the kid.
Do
Just
it.
pursue this
Do it.
kid's relationship.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna be the worst stepmom ever. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah. I give him a little bit of a show though. Like I do that thing where I look at the back of my hand with my arm stretched out, curl it over so I can see my fingertips, or the gloves tips, and it's like, it's nice craftsmanship. All right, I guess you did earn it. And I just kiss him on the cheek.
Aw.
As you kiss him, you hear the hammer drop off of his belt and slam onto his shield with a loud dong.
That was the hammer, I swear.
No.
Hmm.
What he would say in response to that is, "That wasn't my tool. It was my tool."
Easy
Running
there.
my hand against the side of his face, I tell him that I think you dropped something and then walk away.
You collect your gold and your gloves. Upon walking away and recounting, there's 5 gold there
It's fine enough.
for your
He-
2
he-
copper gloves.
That's fine.
I know, it's for the experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you go to what was it called? That one guy bar where Chippendales, right? Where you go and watch like the semi-dressed buff men dance. It's for the experience.
As you walk away, you hear him with his son again. See? I told you, your pops knows how to make a great sale. Doesn't matter who it is. Dad, that's disgusting.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Joke's on you, kid. I'm about to be your stepmom.
Aragon replaces the new son.
No, you weren't happy just ripping apart your family. You wanted to rip apart someone else's family.
Oh God.
Like the
Oh,
original
God.
time that happened was my fault. Fuck you.
Makes a
Bruh.
family after summoning the rats to the household. Anyway, the group reconvenes.
Oh, did you guys have fun on your little adventure?
I go over to the hawk and hold out my hands.
Oh, very nice. You replaced those. Here. Especially considering her hands are held out, he gives her the first of the umbrellas.
Or
Well, I
just
guess third. He'd have taken one for himself and already given one to Zephyr.
I don't know if
Aw.
anyone would like to point it out to Miss May, but her lips are now stained black.
Why are
Like-
your lips black?
Hmm?
Oh, wait, no. I forgot we also have... Right.
I just have a
He
dumb
would have
smile
gotten
on it.
2 more... He would have gotten 2 more umbrellas, so I'm deducting 2 more gold.
Okay.
I just have a dumb smile on my face, and I just tilt my head like,
You look like you tried to kiss a bag of charcoal.
One way to describe it.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
I just rub my thumb across my lips. Don't worry about it.
I say again. Fair enough.
Drugs, not the worst thing I've heard a drow doing.
Same, actually.
Probably the tamest thing you could ever hear.
The worst thing I ever heard a drow doing was enslave a bunch of gnomes.
No wonder you don't like
Yeah, I
Leo.
helped Hawk.
That has nothing
I
to
helped-
do with it.
That
I
is...
helped Hawk.
Pass out umbrellas.
Yeah, I helped Hawk pass out umbrellas.
Hmm.
All right, everyone
Oh.
gets an umbrella.
Oh, thanks. Just open it up. Just
Everyone has a nice dry hat except Miss May. Somehow she got the only one that has a cracked bar in it.
Oh, I wonder why. Nothing to do with the fact that I kicked over his.
well, he doesn't know. There's no way he could have known like which one would have gone to you, but it's still funny.
Yes. Anyway, there was some. Oh, right. Before distracting with umbrellas being handed out, I was going to have Hawk say, "Oh, that is surprisingly tame. I have heard far worse tales of underdark deeds."
Well, there's a reason why my family escaped from the Underdark before I was born. All the stories I've heard about them were from my parents, and they were very cagey about it.
Well, perhaps we should get going before it gets any wetter. The umbrella only does so much.
I agree.
The Hawk Dogs. We presumably head out.
Alright. You guys start to make your way out of town, and you get a good look at the devastation this consistent rain has brought to the area. All the fields are pressed flat. The wheat has been stained a permanent black color. Even at like trying to brush it off, it kind of persists gray colored. The corn that's still standing that soaked up this water has begun to turn a dark black color. Like the actual corn, not the plant.
Metal.
There are dead animals up and down the road. Each one has rats on it. If you really want to stop and kick rats, more than welcome to. But they're just regular rats. This persists until you're out of the farmlands.
Oh, cool. God, something in my throat. Cool.
As you make your way out of the immediate farmland area, the rain starts to let up a little bit. Getting a little lighter, but no less different in its texture and color.
Ugh.
And that's about when you guys start to reach the woods. Miss
Trees are
May
alive.
taking point to lead your wonderful party through the area you found Tarragon, forward Toboro. Why don't you give me a few perception checks in your home territory?
Oh, May, got it.
Also,
about to
while I'm
go
out
there.
here, wouldn't I be able to start foraging for stuff too?
I mean, you can, but that will slow your travel speed.
So seeing as this is my favorite territory for ranger, that does give me bonuses on like tracking and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Check. Let me check.
Maybe.
Remember, specifically since you're attuned to it already, you can tell where animals have been recently.
Okay, rat emotes ban.
Yeah, while I'm not engaged in like dangerous activities or something, I could start foraging, navigating, or tracking animals. If I'm traveling alone, I can move stealthily at normal pace. When you forage, you find twice as much food as you would normally. Tracking. Alright. Alright, so. It doesn't give me a advantage on the territory, it just gives me like added bonuses for having this forest be my natural terrain.
Yep.
So, you said a couple of perception checks, right?
Yes.
May is the apex predator here.
So the first roll was a 12, and the second roll was a 19.
Hell yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna apply the 12 to your foraging. You're able
Fair
to
enough.
find a couple of like small game animals while you're out kind of comb. You find a few different types of herbs, a few wild potatoes, maybe enough for a soup.
Potatoes.
I did just
Potato.
read that I get twice as many from foraging. Is that from the multiplied?
I would say you're able to make one group soup.
I think I'm gonna prepare
Boil 'em.
that then.
Well, maybe wait till you
Boil
get
them,
to a
mash
camp.
them, stick them in a stew.
Hell yeah.
Wait till you get to a camp.
No,
Oh,
I mean like the small game I'm going to like immediately kill, gut, skin, and put it in my sack.
All right. You do notice since you're out in your territory, you'd find one rabbit. So a rabbit, not multiple.
Rabbit.
Chop apple for
The wildlife is incredibly decreased. Like it's hard to feel anything in any kind of bulk. Deer, non-existent. Bears, non-existent. Rabbits, very, very low population. And even when you find like these potatoes, you find more potatoes that are already being gnawed at by like rats and other rodents.
And we've learned not to trust the rodent meat.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt squirrels count though.
Because
Rug.
squirrels, like, the better question is if, like, mice would count, because those are much more closely related rodents.
Do you want me to answer that question? Or would you rather it be a surprise?
I'd rather just stick with the rabbits.
You find a rabbit. Like I said, total you probably got enough ingredients to make a stew. Not a
Good
lot,
enough for me.
just enough to, make it through.
You.
Well, for the group. A light meat and a bunch of potatoes. That being said, trying to make a stew while it's downpouring ash, probably not the best idea.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can...
The umbrellas. Oh, so wait, it's still downpouring ash out here too?
You're about 5 hours out of town at this point, and although the rain isn't as heavy as it is in town, it is still coming down.
Jesus Christ, how long does
Yeah.
this sprawl for?
Now that you're, hitting that 1-2 hour mark into the woods, your second perception check is really going to kick in. You remember the guy on the way out of town saying that carts had not come back yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's one cart ahead of you. It is broken in half in the side of the road. There are rats everywhere. There are no valuables and bones are scattered about.
I crouch down and draw my bow, giving the group the signal to stand down, danger approaching. Or no, not stand down, like, what's it called? Like, stand at
Ready up?
attention. Yeah, ready up, ready up.
Yeah, Jalen's hands on a greatsword. She's just ready.
Like,
I've got
before
my
this-
hand on-
before this, Dahak already had his shield out and was holding up his umbrella with his free hand, but now he'll put away the umbrella and put his hand on his sword.
Yeah,
Right.
I had my hand. I had one hand holding my umbrella, and I had like my sword slung over my shoulders as I walked. But I put the umbrella down.
All right. And Erda pulls out her dagger and flicks it, and it extends into a sword.
Oh, we got some bloodborne shit up in this bitch.
Oh boy!
Might as well. Hi, Gale. Hi, Gale.
Right though.
So, do you guys approach, or do you stay at your current distance? distance it.
I'm gonna try to get some high ground and overwatch the cart.
I think Jalen could probably look at Zephyr. He's like, why don't you hang back with your family? We'll go check this out real quick.
Right.
The last thing I want is them getting hurt.
Of course.
Dog mods.
I'll stay back with Zephyr.
Pulls out his sword and walks up to the carriage remains with Jalen.
Aye.
I'm gonna be keeping overwatch around the cart just to make sure nothing sneaks up on us while we're investigating.
So, at the current point, as you get closer to the cart, like I said, there are rats everywhere gnawing on what's left of the bodies, specifically bone. The cart is starting to sink into the mud. It's like on its side. Looks like the bottom end of it was just broken off completely. And the really wet conditions are just pulling it down. It doesn't look like it's been out here too long, honestly, but because it's just in the mud. Getting some real
that
mileage.
sort of damage to a wagon.
Looking about,
Rats.
the rain has washed away any tracks that might have been available.
I will remind you, Beric, that what did we face in the tower? That was just sort of
Noted.
lying around in there?
Fair point.
Anyway. So, no traps, just bodies, no valuables, no rotten food or anything like that?
Nope. Out of like all the little shreds of stuff you do find around the cart, like papers and maybe like leathers from outfits, the food is completely absent.
Well, considering how the cart has been destroyed, I imagine this is a part of their war effort.
Cut people off from getting supplies.
Aye. Stealing our supplies means we don't have them, and they do.
Cool.
Aw.
Or smash one of their faces. Then
Aw. They're both going after the same piece of cardboard.
aw.
Anyway, he pauses and looks over the skulls closely.
What remains of them are humanoids, very clearly. I say remains because these rats are so voracious, they're just chewing the bone away. Bits by bit,
Yeah,
get
whittling
that
it
marrow.
off. Yep.
Craving that mineral.
It's likely that in another hour or two, the only thing that would be left is the cart.
Wow.
Well, I suppose we don't need to worry about these coming back as undead.
Probably a fair assumption.
Shrugs, puts his sword away, pulls back out his umbrella, and resumes walking down the... Well, since we found a cart, I'm assuming there's a path, yes?
Yep, there's a path all the way to the Toboro for the most part.
Okay, resumes walking down the path at the same rate May had been going before.
We probably want to clear the road so that this doesn't hick us up while transporting the noble back.
It's just on the side of the road. No need to worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like in the way too.
I mean, that's a good point. But once we get there, Dahak's going to point out, like, he's aware it's probably not going to do anything, but he is going to point out to the noble that now is a terrible time to be visiting the city.
Probably fair.
Yeah. Terrible time.
Guys, continue your walk forward. Erda is kind of like swinging around between the front and the back, on and off, chatting with the group as she can. She's kind of curious why the group has such diversity. Typically in Kavzar, people just stay in their own little social groups.
I like to mingle.
Like, similarly, the Hawk does. Not so much for the same reasons as her. He's literally here to spread his religion. So he's more of a missionary, but he happens to be a healing cleric, so he's also something of a doctor.
Necessity.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
I party with these guys out of necessity. Most of their quests are within the borders of this village, or not village, like this forest area. I usually like to prioritize groups that mainly stay around this area. They just kind of stuck.
He nods. I'm not initially from around here. I used to live in the capital city. Being here in Kavzar is kind of new to me.
I'm sorry that's not during a brighter day.
The capital isn't very bright to begin with.
I suppose if you want to get... Go ahead, Merrick.
My family and I are all from the Glassy Wastes. We traveled to Kavzar after my father died.
Oh? 2 of you are from the desert?
Yeah. I'm the cooler one, though. Just a big grin.
Cold-blooded, at least.
Now, I wasn't big brain about it like that. I just think I'm cooler. But, man, if you say that.
Honestly, being here in Kavzar is kind of upsetting to me on a personal level. I like taking care of rats. I used to raise them in a cage. Use them to get rid of the locusts in the field,
Well, before now, I certainly didn't have problems with rats or any other rodents.
Oh, same.
When I was young and my father was busy with the tower, I would always have company of rats with me.
It'd been great if the rats in the cage just popped up on the stream. At the moment.
You speak of the true.
It wasn't until fairly recent that I've started to view rats in a negative light. I was always curious why my mother was very distraught seeing that I had a entourage of rats that I trained to give me, certain things. I'm guessing they like pulling out the trauma stick, and like being all like,
I'll eat the stick.
no, kind of like reminiscent of like what's in the stick, because I was told what it was trauma from my childhood. I can kind of give a reason now why she was hesitant for me to have those pets.
No, the major cities here in Talay have always kind of had a rat problem. I was trying to learn about them so that I could try to curve it more naturally. I didn't feel like, giant lines of stuck rats was really going to solve the problem. Kind of seems like that's the case now, but... Drugs. Outside that, I came to Kavzar to visit family. Kind of just to walk into this mess.
Yeah, always fun. What was that?
No idea.
It might have been me. I was clicking my teeth.
No, that was my phone. It's just reminding me that typically I would be getting into the shower for work.
You
Don't have to since I showered in advance, yeah. But I should go brush my teeth and such, so if I sound especially funny, that's why.
No problem. But yeah, she kind of takes a moment to look at the sky and asks if you plan to reach Tobro tonight, or do you want to do like a mid-stop and then make it to the destination mid-afternoon tomorrow?
Given how far the rain is reaching, I believe we should try to get there sooner. Hopefully it hasn't actually gone as far as Tobero, but
I'd also
motions to how it's still pouring around them actively as we speak.
Gesturing back towards the broken wagon, I also suggest that we should probably make it there before nightfall, or else we'll get a high likelihood of being ambushed.
Probably right about that. Continuing on down the path a little bit ways, it's about another hour. You find the other 2 carts. This time you only find 2 cart wheels and part of the front end of another. The bones are
Still-
long gone.
I was about to say the remains are gone, right? Yeah.
Actually, right, that was one thing I should have asked. Was kind of distracted. I'm guessing there was no roll we could make to try and determine how long the carts had been there.
Sure.
Within the last, 12 hours at least.
I mean, yeah, but if we had something more specific than that, it would help.
I mean,
what kind of a roll would that be? Investigate?
I would definitely be investigating. Seeing
Yeah.
as I'm adequate, within my energy, I'll give him the help command, giving him +2.
Whoever has the best investigate score should be doing it. I have insight, not investigate.
I
My
have proficiency, but I have 0 investigation.
My investigation's -1.
Well, if you have proficiency, that
Mine-
means you have a +3. I have a +0. I have
No,
10 intelligence.
my investigation is a 0 because I have proficiency.
Oh.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
I'm really bad at investigating, but out of sheer practice, I'm just above average.
I see. Does that
But
-3.
You probably might be the best one then.
Yeah.
and you guys
Wait, did he say
said,
-3?
Alright.
and you guys said that his stats were dump stats.
Did he say -3 or +3?
No, plus.
Yeah,
He-
his-
Intelligence is his
three-
highest stat,
no.
so
Yeah, Merrick, investigate.
If 13, and with my investigation, that's 16.
Plus 2, 18. Let's hope.
Oh,
yep.
So, looking around, I'm going to say all 3 carts. The first one you saw was within 6 hours. These 2 are within 12 or 24.
Oh, goody.
Telling just by, how off the road and broken down these carts are, it's still an astonishing speed. These carts should not be this far hidden, but all you can find are traces of it at this point.
Maybe they were chased down the road, but couldn't escape, but was chasing them.
But there's no signs of anything big.
Yeah, but the rain. You did say earlier the rain kind of washed away tracks.
Yeah.
Fair.
But if there were something big, the trees would have been disturbed.
That's
And
true.
yeah. So unless you want me to roll an investigate or a nature or investigation check on that.
Up to you. I will note that for your explorer perk, you still don't sense any increase in the wildlife.
I'd have to spend an hour meditating on it if to actually sense that, but
It's your home terrain. I'm not gonna force that.
yeah, Oh, yeah, alright, fair enough.
So I was curious about this. Like, I didn't think you'd have a -3. Like, it might be that I was just wrong about how proficiency stacks when you multi-class, but shouldn't you have +3 proficiency bonus by this point?
Yeah.
It depends on if you're multi-classing or not.
Yeah, I thought even when you were
Oh, no,
multi-classing,
yeah.
proficiency bonus still stacks.
Yeah, it's based on your overall level count.
Yeah, I thought that's how that worked, not how your
Individual class level works.
Yeah.
yeah.
So wait, does that mean I should be getting a 4 instead of a...
No.
No, like it's if you were a level 6 in one class or the other, that's what your proficiency bonus should be. In
You're
other
still
words,
a
you should have a
total
plus.
level 6.
Yes. In other words, you should have a +3 right now, not a +2.
No, both of my classes are at 3rd level, and the proficiency for both of my classes for 3rd is +2.
You're level 6, regardless of your multi-class.
So I should be given a +3?
Yep.
Yes.
I need to change a few things right now.
I would do that. That's a good
Animal
catch, dog.
handling is now 8 instead of 7.
That's fine. Just make.
Intimidation is
Just note the
4 instead of
changes.
3.
Well, yeah, the
Investigation
carts
is
are
1.
long destroyed, very broken down. Never trace that they were there. Although, I'm going to make a note. I'm going to say that there is finally a track.
Oh.
This one you
Follow that
find.
trail.
It's a single footprint. There's no trail to it. Just a single track catches your eye on the side of the road. It's kind of underneath a thick padding of trees in the bush, and you can see it kind of veering off. It looks like a rat's foot, but it's about 3 times the size.
I'm gonna gesture for Dahak to take a look at this.
Oh boy, time to go killing.
Yay!
I just love killing.
I'm a barbarian. I love to kill.
Now this isn't the older of the cards. The way the paw kind of presses into the ground, it kind of has a dog-like characteristic to it. Like the way it's pressed in as it lifts up, it has a pad to it, but it is a rat's foot.
It looks like they come in all shapes and sizes now.
It would seem so. Pulls out his sword again. I would say we should follow these.
Nothing to follow. It's just the one.
Oh, single track. You said there were I thought you said there were tracks plural.
My bad. No,
It's fine. He wouldn't. In that case, he just wouldn't bother pulling out his sword. He'd just crouch and look closer, trying to angle the umbrella so that it doesn't obscure what little life filters through the fucking bullshit rain clouds.
I mean, you can just cast light.
That's a good point. Yeah, he'll just do that. He casts light on the umbrella itself.
Alright, making yourself a nice little light to carry around.
Yeah.
Looking at the paw print, you know, the unique characteristics, like I said, rat's foot with toe beans. It has claws to it. It presses down tipped first, and then heel kind of is there, but more gently pressed. You know that weird arch that like a werewolf's foot makes? It kind of has that going in its footstep.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, so I player know we're dealing with one of those. Dahak, I'm pretty sure the only identifying skill he has to even hazard a guess off of this is religion, because I'm pretty sure insight, medicine, perception, and I know persuasion can't help him identify anything, so...
You talk to the foot for the god. Can you tell me what you belong to?
Yeah.
Wouldn't I be able to tell with a nature check or an animal handling?
You'd definitely be able to tell with a nature check. All I have to roll is religion, so he'll roll religion at it to make sure it's not any kind of undead or other thing that could identify. Oh. I was expecting yet another shitty roll. That's probably going to be my one good roll all session, especially since we're about to end in like 15-ish minutes.
Yeah.
That's 20 on religion to try and identify this as any particular beastie. Well, as it belonging to any particular beastie that would identify. Which I believe is still only undead.
It
I'll
does
double check.
not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, this is not familiar to me. That said, it does look like a weirder version of the tracks the other rats leave, so I'm sure it's yet another monstrosity they have created.
They have large blobs, humanoids, now dogs.
Oh, you should definitely not be surprised by this.
A part of me
I'm
isn't.
not terribly surprised, but I'm not happy either.
The
Same.
rat men are very much like, people, surprisingly. They have their own devotions and rituals that they practice.
What's next? Dragon rats?
Well, there's...
The horned rat, I believe the individual that closed the gates might even be the horned rat that they apparently worship. Either gets its horns from a dragon or a demon. Would be my guess.
Both
Shrug.
should be very strong sources of magic, right?
Yeah.
He nods.
But she was explaining, kind of like the one that you guys saw me kill. That specific type of ratman only wears cowls and hides, kind of like our Eastern ninjas. I've seen one rat that had like a mechanical arm.
What?
Well, I can only assume they have specializations like we do. If they weren't like gears and twists and knobs.
Oh, so like clockwork.
He nods.
Frowns.
Stuff that the dwarves would be able to craft. Like cog work, gigantic mechanisms.
I mean,
I'm guessing smaller
based on the
quality.
green things you saw, I wouldn't be surprised if there were like scientists.
Like gnomes?
Me big brain rat. Squeak.
I could say something, but I would totally ruin something. Well, I'm not.
Oh, go ahead, ruin it.
Ickett's Claw has the biggest brain of all rats.
God.
Best rat boy, honestly.
But yeah, no, it just has a fucking mini nuke, that's all.
Yeah, no, like the Skaven are fucking terrifying. They have magical nukes.
Raise his hand. DM? DM, when can I turn into ink eyes?
Aww, aren't you cute? Well, if you turn this corner over here, you'll find a bunch of tall rat men. They'll help you.
I approach the rat men with big eyes.
As you turn the corner, 450 green bullets rip through your body.
Oh God.
wasn't. But if you turned into a rat, you'd probably be a black rat, right? Oh wait, no, you have
And thi-
white hair.
And this is a cornfield, sweetie. Mm.
Yeah, you.
I'm sorry. I have completely lost the plot. What is happening?
Nothing. This is all. It's not canon.
You're being
Don't
weird.
worry about it.
Yeah, we're just fucking around. The thing she was talking about was actually a character from Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, ink eyes.
You're probably familiar with her because she's a pretty heavily furry baited character.
What are you talking about? She is very beautiful.
Furry bait characters are pretty. They're popular with furries because they are anthropomorphic and appealing. Anyway, moving on. Well, I suppose dawdling only serves to waste sunlight. Air quotes.
Yeah.
That's fair. You guys continue to walk forward down the path. You're coming up on a cliff that overlooks the edge of the lake. You can kind of see back over toward Kavzar as you round it. The clouds are so dark over there and heavy. And even at this distance, you swear you can hear that bell. You really can't, but you swear you can just hear it. Looking at the
Hear our
tower's
heads.
tall shape.
It's a cognito hazard.
Don't you just hate it when you get an email and you open it and it's like 12 terabytes of cat pictures?
Erda is kind of looking over the cliff. Well, not like standing on it, looking over it, but like looking out from the road over it.
Uh-huh.
Since she can actually see the sky at that point, she says it looks like these clouds go all the way over to Tobero.
Oh, goody.
How far-reaching is whatever spell they're casting?
This kind of
What
magic
would
is...
what would the Tia equivalent of Jesus Christ be? Like in a Jesus Christ, what the fuck sort of sense?
Tia's scales.
Something shard.
Okay.
Bloody shard.
No.
That sounds worse.
Moving on. We'll workshop that later at some point.
In character, I say magic like this shouldn't be possible.
Magic
He
is
nods.
very rare, honestly.
The most that I've seen somebody do was here in the city, and it was opening a gate once to another city that was across the nation.
Considering the reach of this particular spell, I would say that these rats and that horned individual are almost certainly deep in league with chaos. Now, whether their particular brand of chaos comes from some... are chaos dragons a thing? I don't remember.
So it is getting kind of late.
It is, but Dylan, did you hear my question? Chaos dragons. Those exist?
They do. They're specifically drow things.
Okay.
First time hearing it. But again, parents are very cagey about my heritage.
So, anyway, knowing that he would definitely say, so I imagine it's demonic, not draconic. Chaos dragons tend to associate with the drow. Looks over to May. Well,
May.
looks over to May for reassurance, since this is some pretty esoteric information
I-
he doesn't heard from hearsay on some such or what have you.
I stare with bright eyes, looking left to right, and say, I don't know. I'm not what you would call a genuine drow. Like, I'm a surface dweller. Like, you'd have a better chance asking one of the ones that originated from the Underdark than someone that was raised up on the surface. I don't know.
I would like
He
everyone
nods.
to roll a d4.
D4?
4.
That's different.
Uh-oh.
Pinky.
I know what D4 means.
Oh, do you?
As a DM, this is how I
3.
rolled in the background of who gets targeted.
I also got a 3.
4.
1.
Aw, you didn't roll a 3. That way only Merrick could get it on a 4. And us all on a 3.
So wait, what everybody roll?
I
We
rolled a
rolled
3.
D4s. I rolled a 3, she rolled a 3, you rolled a 1, Merrick rolled a 4.
So nobody got a 2.
Someone
Correct.
did. Erda rolled the 2.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
But on that note, that's not what it was for. Yet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like that yet.
A likely story.
I'm not going to tell you what that d4 is. That's for next time. Just know that the group outcome was 3.
Oh boy.
So
Wait, you averaged it?
I did.
Shit.
3 was
You're
the
right.
most rolled number. 'Cause it wasn't about the value. It was
Alright,
about the
thank you, though.
outcome. Whatever was the most.
Alright.
I mean, between 5 rolls, I
mean, if
figured
it
I'd get a
isn't-
good.
Yeah, like that's not the average, but yeah, because like if it were the average, that would be like 2 point something.
2.53.
Nerd.
Unimportant. Moving on.
Anyway, so yeah, you guys are now, probably about 3 hours away from Toboro. It is very clear that it's night. The rain is now backed off to a drizzle. And, in the far distance, you can actually see some of the city lights. However, that does not stop the crunching sound of tree branches around you as you near that 3-hour closing.
Oh boy.
Tree crunching.
Well, tree branches.
Rapidly, as if horses were galloping across broken limbs.
What?
This one sound becomes dozens very quickly. May you hear a howly hiss on the wind. It almost sounds like wolves.
Oh boy.
We should probably
Wolf
pick up our
rat.
pace.
Well,
We should
yeah, I'm
really
pretty
pick
sure
up-
we were. Yeah. Anyway, but I think by pick up the pace, you mean we should run towards town? Because it really sounds like we should run towards town.
Yep.
You
Alright,
begin-
mate.
So we're running to town?
Running the rest of the way to town, like, did you say it was coming from town or from the forest?
It's coming from the forest, but approaching very quickly.
Yeah, we're running. They're going to catch up with us, but there's no reason to not run.
Closer we get to town, the better.
I'm gonna note that your sister isn't able to keep up.
I pick her up.
Actually, I was gonna have Jalen do that if you didn't.
Yeah,
Same, I
that
was
would
gonna
probably
do it.
make more sense.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're taking up the back. I'm gonna say Erda is nearby you. As she points out ahead of the group from your side, Doc, you can see the elongated shapes of what looks like giant regular sized rats rushing the front side of the road.
Oh, goody. I mean, he does notice that, but we should... So... Are they ahead of us then, or what?
It looks like they're gonna to come forward and then turn back and charge down the road at you.
Well, he takes out his sword and charges towards them. There's not really much choice here.
I take out my daggers.
I draw my greatsword, but holding child.
Yeah, and I put my and I ready my sword and put myself between them and Jalen.
I would like to hang back so that I'm like getting the tail end where I'm in this defensive position around behind Zephyr's family.
All right, like I imagine, May, you're like running up, pulling out your dagger, starting to slow a little bit to take up that rear guard. Dex saving throw.
Dex, that is a 22.
So I'm gonna tell you what that roll was for, actually. That roll picked the clan. As you
Oh, no.
dodge out of the way, catching it out of the corner of your eye, a green bolt of lightning zips by your face. Almost like a crossbow bolt in its speed. Looking over the horizon, you can see the arc going back from the shot is about 300 feet off into the grass.
Oh boy.
Magical sharpshooters? What the fuck is this shit?
I mean, if you know Warhammer lore, it's a warpstone Jezzail. It is literally a warpstone sniper rifle.
Oh.
I
Dibs.
mean, either way, we should probably stop at that note, because I need to leave in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, we did.
I hope you are ready to fight the biggest brain of all rats.